So recycling centres are an essential resource that the council provides. So we have 2 recycling centres in Conwy, both on the coastal strip where 80% of the population is located. But our large rural hinterland, a lot of smaller towns and villages don't have that facility. So to build a new facility, we estimated at the time probably 2 to 3 million in capital costs, plus probably you're talking about 200,000–300,000 a year in revenue cost to run it. So we were looking for alternatives, and one of the alternatives we thought of was a mobile service that would visit some towns and villages once a month and offer most of the same services that you could get at a full-scale recycling centre. So disposal of bulky waste, recycling of bulky waste, electrical goods, garden waste, rubble and wood, general waste. So that's the idea we had, and we applied to Leader funding for it, and we're able to set up a monthly recycling service to 3 villages, or one town and 2 villages in Conwy, in Llanrwst, Cerrig-y-Drudion and Ailgylchu. And that started in 2019 and is still operating now. First of all, we were trying to provide a service to residents in the rural area. With most council services, it's more challenging to provide services away from sort of the main hubs where council depots and recycling centres and vehicles are based. So we wanted to provide a service to residents in the rural area, but also give them the opportunity to recycle their unwanted items, things that can't be recycled at curbside, and to set up a service that could increase recycling, increase reuse of things like unwanted furniture, electrical goods, and to set up a system that could do all of that.
It's so helpful for me because it's hand down. I live a couple of miles down the road. It saves me going to the tip, and it's far easier to come here. There's plenty of parking, plenty of space to do. It's brilliant. Yeah, if this wasn't here, I'd have had to have travelled 18 miles to the tip. I can come here, it's only a couple of miles down the road, and I get rid of it. They help me unload it. It's brilliant.
The first 2 years of the project under Leader funding, we were collecting sort of 2.5 to 3 tonnes of unwanted items. Over the period of the initial period of the scheme, we collected over 600 sort of electrical items, over 100 fridges, 120 mattresses. So quite big numbers of stuff that we're actually saving from landfill or incineration, reusing what we can. We have sort of a third sector company who work with us doing electrical repairs, fridge and washing machine repairs. So anything that we could sort of salvage and reuse that was taken to the recycling centres is repaired when it can be, and then put back into circulation on the second-hand market and available as a low-cost option for people to buy. It's something we'd been looking at for a while without having the funding to do it. As it's easy to say now because it's such a great success and everyone likes it. Yes, we would always have done it, but realistically, the Leader funding was great to kickstart it, and it meant we could just bring it in at that time. It's also helped us work out how to do it, because not having done it before, there's quite a bit of risk in there. How much stuff we're going to get, how many people are we going to get, what sort of vehicles we're going to need, how many staff we're going to need. So what Leader did was enable us to run it as a pilot scheme for 2 years, make the adjustments we needed to do, and now we've got worked out the best and most cost-efficient way to do it, and that service is now running out of our revenue cost because we've de-risked it, run a pilot scheme. But would it have actually started without the Leader funding? Say possibly not. No. Leader funding ran for 2 years until March 2021. We then applied for a separate grant to run it for a further year, which we were successful in, and now this year is the first year we've been able to run the service out of council revenue funding. And yeah, as I touched on, that's because we were able to say, actually, we know now it's going to cost this much. We've worked out how to do it most cost efficiently, so we've been able to make that allocation out of our revenue funding.